Well, greetings, friends, and welcome to the Gospel Underground Podcast. This is episode 100, the Centennial episode, Jesse. We are broadcasting live for us from the worldwide headquarters, our worldwide headquarters here in Blacksburg, Virginia. Jesse, it is true.
100 episodes.
100 episodes. My wife even noticed this she apparently was on our website or something and said, "Hey, what are you doing for episode 100? Something special?" I'm like, well,
huge celebration event.
Putting pressure on the old 100th episode there, Casey. But yes, this is episode 100. I believe we started in August of 2017, which is kind of wild that it's been over 3 years. Yeah. We're in 2021 now, so it's a lot better than 2020 was. Apparently, 2021. There's still COVID.
There's still COVID.
The worst COVID situation yet.
There's like mutant COVID strands taking over. They're telling us they're coming to the States or they're already here.
Yeah, and
we got people storming our Capitol building.
I know,
rioting,
acting like it's the Bastille or something. Man, it was what a day yesterday. What a day. Seeing that, and Manchester United lost in the League Cup semifinals, and I didn't even care because people were, invading the Capitol, so to speak. And man, what a
disturbing day it was, and still is today.
Yeah, it's. I'm thankful that the levers of government went back into play last night, and the vice president certified the election, and things are moving forward. But
yeah, Jenny and I this morning talked about. We spent some time with our kids talking about what happened. Our kids are still little, 11, 10, 8, and 3, talking about what happened and praying for our country and our leaders, and even for our particular small town community. And then Jenny and I were talking about how seeing them come back in to the chamber and keep going was reassuring that thugs taking over in a kind of seditious display of violence isn't going to shut it down.
Yeah, certainly, our kids are older. Kayla's feeling it, because she's been doing COVID college. It's not fun, and they haven't even heard for sure if they're going back next week, but I think they are because they haven't heard otherwise. And of course, she's looking at all that stuff and thinking about the future because she's got a more of adult mind of like, hey, what's the world going to be like?
What's it going to be like?
And it's disturbing. It looked like one of the Village People or something was breaking in with it.
Yeah, that dude that they figured out who he is.
What is
you're
that
talking
guy
about
doing?
The guy that had the painted face and the shirtless and the
He is.
What is that guy? He's like a QAnon shaman.
Oh,
like
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh at this stuff. That's a thing.
Out of Arizona, they've identified him now. He's taken part in Antifa marches, BLM marches, and Trump marches. Seems as though he's
just likes chaos.
Oh,
well, I'm sure the people that think everything was Antifa will like that. I don't know, man. It's sad to see the difficulties, and this is straining relationships between lots of people because of the nature of it, and Trump got banned from Facebook. I saw that.
Facebook and Twitter.
No, he's gone off Facebook.
Oh, he's gone.
Apparently, Zuckerberg put out something. I got a text from some guys during our bathroom break that we had before our show. Apparently, he's gone there, and I don't know if Twitter's permanent or not. But I outed myself on the podcast long ago that I was never Trump, and I certainly confirms everything that I've thought for a long time. That
same here. And one of the things about what we're seeing happening is that the never Trump people who warned, even like John Piper, he wrote that thing just 2 months ago about why he wasn't going to vote for Trump, and really I think what we're seeing now is the wisdom that was displayed then of the character and the words of a leader do matter.
Yeah.
And they do shape culture.
That's right. That's right. And create confusion and chaos. We're in the midst of a series on resistance, Jesse. We're not done with that yet. We're going to continue on in that a little bit more and talk about, we're talking about what we resist. Certainly we looked at the power and pleasure and the cultural moments. The next one in that series that I think we'll do next time will be about resisting the chaos that's fomented through internet, social media, as well as weaponized technology. I read a book about the weaponization of AI and these new technologies and how we got to be vigilant about by one of the former Brad Smith, former legal counsel for Microsoft. He may still be with them. Wrote a book, Tools and Weapons, that I read this past year, and we're going to look at why we have to be careful. And part of that is just learning to withhold judgment based on what you see in social media or through internet connectivity, because a lot of times people will put things in a certain context or out of context or stuff with, quite frankly, we simply know nothing about. And so it's the worst kind of thing, like, look at this. And I, friends, I've got some side signal chats, because we're secure. We don't want the man spying on our chats. But I got friends that have very different political persuasions that will chat with each other. And it's real easy for all of us to say, hey, look at this, like we know.
Yeah.
And we don't know. So we have to be part of the resistance and the chaos of our culture that's fomented through these technologies. But that's a buzzkill, Jesse. This is episode, I'm getting like, I don't want to be depressed today.
It's episode
I'm
100,
excited.
baby.
We're episode 100. We've now added over 3 years.
100 episodes.
Yeah.
100 episodes is a lot.
One of the things about podcasting is that you can't quit, right? You got to stay at it. And that's difficult. Podcasts, a lot of them today, a lot of them come and go. But we dared to start together, stay together, and continue. Episode 100, I see hundreds more, Lord willing, in the future as we head. But I figured today we could talk a little bit about, fall of 2017, when we started this together. I had been living back in Blacksburg a little over a year at the time. And so we took a risk on a partnership after we said, hey, you want a podcast?
We did that when you were only here a year.
Yeah, man, you took a risk.
Man, I took a risk.
Who is this guy, Blacksburg guy? Yeah, it was fun to hear kind of our joint interest, and it's been a fun partnership. And thank you for all of our listeners out there supporting us over the years, not financially supporting us, but listening in and being advocating for us, and dropping your 5-star reviews and your textual. We love textual reviews, like 3 sentences. Do that on iTunes. We received that from you.
Yeah, we just even in the last couple weeks, I've had multiple people send me notes, send me text messages, just with encouraging notes about the podcast.
It's been good, and some of those I was copied on, some of them I wasn't. But the same thing for me, man. It's been it's a unique, eclectic thing we do here on the Gospel Underground, but trying to live out faith in robust ways in the borderland between the church and culture. But man, that's blurry. Certainly the events yesterday reminded me the importance of relevance with faithfulness, this resistance posture, which we cannot get bored or captured by the world. We have to maintain our distinctiveness, our saltiness, our Christ-likeness, which matters. It's not just like, oh, he's not a politician, so he gets to be like break every ethical rule and code in morality. That's not true, right? We're followers of Jesus. That's where we flow, and we flow in various places, right, in context with people. But as we look back, 2017 August, a lot has happened in our own lives since then. So I figured we'd start by talking about any major life transitions that have happened, or new people that came into the world, perhaps even since August 2017. Jesse, anything you have to?
Yeah, man, we had a baby. We had a baby in December of 2017. And that has to be right, isn't it? She just turned 3.
Yeah,
our youngest.
I think that. Yeah,
and so that's a pretty big transition. We were not thinking that we were going to have any more babies. And so it was a surprise transition, but one that has been incredible. I mean, she's just, she's the best. She's great, and has been just all life for us. And so, yeah, huge transition for us.
She was pointing out some clouds to me on your front porch a couple week or so ago.
Was she? Oh, yeah.
What did you call them? Cotton
she
candy?
Calls them cotton candy clouds when there's a sunset. Yeah, she's incredible. And at this, so we weren't planning her. But now I wish that we had more.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh man, it's too late.
Too late.
It's too late.
Well, man, kids are hard. Parenting is hard, but it's an encouragement to see them grow up in grace. And that was a big transition for us, sending Kayla to college. But also, my wife's had 2 major surgeries, one in 2018 and one
recently,
a few weeks ago. Yeah, we're still helping her move through her 3-month recovery coming up. And so, I guess I feel like I'm getting old.
Well, you hit the.
I passed 47.2,
47.2, and then came back.
That's
you're
right.
On the other side.
I'm on the comeback right now because
what episode was
I'm
that?
48. I don't remember. It was in one of our episodes.
Yeah.
It was in like a side note in one of the episodes that 47.2, the bottom of the happiness curve in our culture, where things get miserable for you, but after that you get older and you enjoy the fruits of life and labor and maybe become grandparents, stuff like that. So I'm getting old, but there's a rewardingness to that. I mean, obviously, you get more peers in your house, and you know, in terms of kids that actually are very intelligent and can interact with you and spiritually encourage you. Our family devotions have changed and deepened to more of a peer feel. Even Tommy, who's 14 now and taller than all of us. That's another transition. I mean, I got outgrowed by my son, but he still can't handle the power, you know. So, but yeah, Tommy's big, man, and you know, Kylene's now looking seriously at the college thing too, and super fun to watch that all.
Yeah, another big transition for me was my role at the church. So at Valley Bible Church in Radford, where Brett Johnson is our lead elder.
What's up, Brett?
Lead pastor. Shout out to Brett. Brett and I have been best friends since we were 7 years old. So 33 years now we've been best friends, and we planted the church together 11 years ago, and
you worked for free for the church?
I worked for free for a very long time for the church. You know, I was directing crew at Radford, working on staff with the campus ministry for quite a while. Then started the Bonhoeffer House and transitioned transitioned into directing the Bonhoeffer House in 2015. But I still kept serving the church in different ways. I think in 2017,
lots of different ways.
I was probably listed as our director of church planting.
Yeah.
And so since then, I've stepped into a more permanent role, I hope, of executive pastor with I got a clear job description. A lot of that actually is thanks to Reid, because Reid, you came on and served as a consultant for a year, really coached us up, helped us set good systems in place, and then got us into a place where we needed, where we recognized some of the needs that we had that would fill in gaps, and so that's been a good transition for me.
And some of the things you were already kind of, you know, serving in terms of leadership, and then kind of you and Brett being a good team with your friendship, and that I was glad as a member of the church just to see you know, that become official, because it was probably overdue in my opinion, and you're doing a great job. Appreciate our church. Jesse's also our shepherding elder, which means he's responsible for our lives and family, so he gets to ask me how I'm actually doing, and I appreciate that as well. Well, Jesse, a lot of life changes, but we're going to hit a couple little segments today. You know, one of the things about starting podcasting is that there is some technological things involved, right? Books and texts and movies and things, mainly the tech side of things. And so I figured we'd take just a couple minutes today to talk about the process of podcasting. You can find this kind of stuff on the internet. We certainly did. But some of you may not know that we're fully in-house on our podcast. So we do all the recording, the editing, the video now, which gets tens of views on our website, the video.
There are literally dozens of you out
hundreds
there.
Though, on our little clips that we put out on social media.
Also, I appreciate you saying we. I just show up, man. Let's be honest. I show up and I come prepared, but I'm not. You know, as a matter of fact, one of my major life transitions is with the Bonhoeffer House. We started a podcast called Hammer and Quill.
Hammer and Quill.
With Michael Worrell, my associate director, and I. And like the second episode in, I sent Reid a long note saying, I didn't realize how much work you did. Thank you so much. I've been so ungrateful for 2.5 years. Just Like, yeah, it'll get done. It just gets uploaded.
Yeah,
Somebody
same
does
day.
it. Same day. I'm sitting on like a 3-week-old episode I haven't produced yet.
But they're good and they're coming out.
Yeah.
And it
So
is.
you work hard in-house. All this equipment is gospel underground. It is all the work is Reid. And so no one is better positioned to give this Reviewish than you.
Oh, I like using the word we. It's a good practice that I think
we do a lot of good work here, Reid.
Doing in team sports and I don't like leaders personally that take all the credit for other people's work too. So I always try to include stuff and say we a lot. I had a friend in Jersey. He's like, you say we all the time. Do you just mean you're doing that? I was like, sometimes, but like it's not just no one's ever alone.
I'm like the opposite. Yeah. When people ask me about this podcast, about the Gospel Underground, I say, yeah, I work really hard.
I really crush it.
I thank you for that. I do a lot. No, I don't really.
So we are an in-house shop in the sense that we do all the writing, research, publishing, recording technology, as well as the final product with putting it on the RSS feeds for the nerds out there and getting the MP3s finalized with chapter pictures. If you watch on your phone, you'll see little pictures happen. All that kind of stuff. And so there's a learning curve with that. And now you two, we've taught ourselves various things related to audio technology over the years. And so we wanted to talk a little bit, maybe we'll do this in other subsequent Reviewish as well, but we'll start with a few pieces of our puzzle. And today we want to start with microphones. Because no matter what if you're a sound engineer, if the gear you're using to capture your voice and capture the sound waves bumping out into the air is crap, your sound is crap. And sound is a very important thing. If you're doing video too, it's very important to have good sound. And so that starts with microphones. So we're going to give you our take on what we think are some of the good microphones out there. And then Jesse's going to drop us some fly-looking headphones that he's wearing right now. He's going to tell us about as we go. So for microphones, this has become more important too, because today, many of you are doing Zoom calls, maybe Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, those kinds of things. And sounding good is just important as looking good. So these microphone suggestions may be helpful to some of our friends there. The worst microphone you can use is on your laptop. Don't use that. If you want to improve on that, use a little earphone thing that you would use for calls. A little better. But when you get to around $100, you can do some really good work. So my first recommendation is the ATR 2100 USB microphone by I think this is by Audio-Technica.
Audio-Technica, that's right. This is what we started with, isn't it?
Yeah, we started with these microphones. The important thing about this, it's very versatile. If you look at the bottom, you'll see that it's a USB port as well as an XLR port. So you can use this on soundboards. You can use this directly into iPhones, computers with the right gear. And they've replaced this one since we started, but it's fantastic. You got to be right up on it. And we still use these on the road. We sometimes use these in studio when we have like all my kids on, like when kids in coronavirus episode. Can't go wrong with these little microphones, and you get them on Amazon less than $100. Now, recently, Jesse, this is a new microphone for our family.
Yeah, I'm looking at that thing right now thinking, man, that looks pretty nice.
Our home computer didn't even have the ability to do Zoom calls, and we have a home computer set out in the dining room so everybody can use it. And so when the kids are doing they're doing all their classes now on Google Meet, Google Classroom, we wanted to do some sound for them. This is a new mic from Rode. This is the Rode NT USB Mini, and so it has a little stand, that we bought for it. But this one is great because it can capture multiple people together. You can use it for music and things. This is a USB microphone though, so this is going to go with your computer. These kind of microphones will make your Zoom calls a lot better and very, very tiny. You can even pop this thing off and take it in a bag kind of deal. So
I like that, man. I haven't seen that before, and I'm going to have to look into that one.
That microphone just came out, I think, in 2020 and was back ordered early on. A lot of stuff was back ordered during the early days of COVID pandemic. But that one came out, and I was trying to get it for Kayla to go to college. So I got her another one that we like. Okay, I don't even remember the name of it, but that one's for home. The next thing, if you are looking at podcasts and you're plugging stuff in with an XLR cable, which means external line return, this is what professional musicians and microphones plug in with XLR connections. This mic came out probably a year and a half or so ago, called the Rode Pod Mic. It came out at the same time as the Rodecaster Pro. That when we do how we capture digital audio in another episode, we'll talk about the Rodecaster Pro. But this is $99, and it's fantastic. In terms, if you're starting out and you wanted a good XLR mic, this is great. Talk right into it. Great capsule, heavy duty, and just sound is really robust. Got that deep kind of bass that you want, especially if you got a little bit of bassy voice. But $99, Rode Pod Mic. They were hard to get for a while, but I think they're in stock now pretty much everywhere.
Now, and Rode is that's an Australian company, isn't it?
Yeah, it is an Australian.
Under?
Yeah, it's Australian. And the funny thing is, if you look at any of their product videos, they have this real young Australian kind of guy who's got a sweet sounding accent. The Rodecaster Pro kind of doing this thing down under. So Rode is great. We've enjoyed a lot of their products. Now, Jesse, we're going to go into the the sacred ground of higher end microphones, because look, you do get what you pay for, and if you spend a little bit more, there is opportunities to sound pretty dang good in the microphone world. Now, the two most popular ones, like if you ever run into probably the biggest podcast in the world, the Joe Rogan Experience, you're going to see the Shure SM7B. And I'm going to let you share a little bit about that, because you have two of them in our church studio now.
That's right. Yeah, we use the SM7B for our roundtable videos we make as Brett and I do this little video, short 15-minute roundtable.
Question and answer from the church.
Yeah. That's right. And then we also use it over at the Hammer and Quill. SM7B is a really high quality microphone. It's going to have a very, very crisp and clear vocal pickup on it. And so, and then of course, if you now the downside of the SM7B is it takes some power.
The electrical gain of the system.
That's right. Yeah. So it takes some power. The Rodecaster, which we'll review on another one. It gives you enough it sends enough power. It gives you enough to work with that you don't have to have a cloud lifter.
Cloud lifter, yeah.
You don't have to have something between. And so for us, it works great. I really like the vocals on it.
You can use them in singing applications.
I wouldn't know that, but I assume you.
But I've seen Neil do it at the church, especially early on in COVID. He was using that in the singing thing. You can't go wrong with the Shure SM7B. It's one of the popular higher end microphones. You can pick those up for about $399, depending where. And those are used by professionals and studios.
That's right. Very neutral. So again, this works especially well if you have, like, we've got Neil Buchanan, who is our media and worship director at Valley Bible Church, and is someone who, if you've got someone that can get in there, an engineer and really set all of your levels, then it's really nice
good, really versatile.
Yep.
Well, and the final mic is the one you guys, if you're watching the video, all 10s of you, that Jesse and I are using now, which is actually the Electro Voice RE20 microphone. This is a mic that goes back, I believe, to the 1960s, and is found in radio studios all over. If you were watching like Jalen and Jacoby kind of on ESPN, they're using an Electro Voice. I don't know if it's the RE20 or the newer ones, but this mic has consistently been highly ranked for voice applications. It does great for talking around a mic, but also has that kind of dynamic microphone where it doesn't pick up, like if my wife's slamming the car door out there, or this is we're in the shed quarters, which has kind of a high ceiling, which would be needing a lot of sound soak if it was just kind of a normal studio mic. But these dynamic microphones pick up great. Work well with my voice. I had a sound engineer guy named Chris Kipps. What's up, Chris? Out in Texas, who recommended this mic to us a couple years ago, and we switched to it, and it's been fantastic. I have one regret though about this microphone, Jesse.
What's that?
They now have it in black.
Oh man, it looks nice.
And this is, I don't know what you call this color, doo-doo beige or something. It's like, but these are tanks. They last,
titanium color.
Titanium battleship color. But they have them in black now. But these have been great for us, and we don't see changing. Even though I'd love a black one, these are going to go with us, and we use the other two that are in the background here when we have in studio guests to kind of make them sound pretty well details. And now you have a little headphone recommendation.
Well, I wanted to throw a bonus reviewish for the headphones I'm wearing right now. Maybe we should. Well, I'm just going to do it. We can redo it.
You can include them when we do headphones as a whole.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, but I really like these, and so when I saw,
are they the $600 Apple headphones?
No. You thought they were though. I got them out.
The little head top
I got them
looked
out,
a little
and you
similar.
were like, "Oh, did you get the Apple ones?" No, I did not. These are Meze Noir 99. Meze is
sounds like a French name.
I think they might be Romanian.
Oh.
I don't know. I know that these they had a classic that it's a little gaudy. The classic ones they have like brassy gold,
industrial looking.
These are they've got real walnut. So this is like a real wood,
wow.
CNC milled cup, and they're so comfortable. So here's the thing: is I don't know if I've got big ears or what it is, but there are most studio monitor type headphones. If I wear them for more than an hour, they just start to hurt.
And if you got an ear that looks like this,
yeah, and if you got an ear that looks like you've been wrestling,
like a dog chewed on it.
So these are super comfortable. These I think are the best headphones that I've ever listened to for under $200. So these are right at $200. They're
fantastic.
You can buy them through Massdrop, which now I think has just been changed to Drop.com.
Okay.
We'll
show notes those for you guys, because all of these things, if you're looking to improve the audio quality of recording things, videos, home zooms, or even if you want to be involved in podcasting, we'll link these things for you guys on episode 100. But I do think we'll do some headphones in the future, and maybe we'll do the audio capture as well. That's a cool looking case too.
And they come. The packaging is tremendous. It comes with this nice little hard case. These are detachable, so you can actually take the cord. One of the things that happens with nice headphones is there's kinks in the cord, and this you're able to take it apart and coil it up real nice. Really like them.
Well, awesome, Jesse. Well, thank you guys for listening to that longish reviewish, but we do have fun with the technology side of it. It does kind of have a joy to it, but sometimes you're right, it feels like a grind when you're doing post-production editing, trying to crank these things out. But Jesse, this is our In or Out theme song.
Man, it's so two theme songs in one episode.
Man, it's happening today. Woo! Episode 100. What I figured we'd do as we close for the last 20 minutes or so, that we could just talk about some of our favorite memories or even our favorite episodes that we've kind of engaged together. We can go back and forth on this. We don't have to just go one, all of ours at once. But this was hard for me, because I know we were picking through, both of us looking through the catalog during lead up to this. And one of the things that was hard for me is that I enjoy doing this with you. I enjoy the things we talk about, because I pick what we talk about for the most part. We. And so it certainly was difficult to kind of get down to a few. And so I had some honorable mentions that I'll hit. First one was a Christmas tradition, because that's where I talked about writing Christmas letters to my kids, and Tommy also reviewish Lego Ninjago movie. So that was great. And some of these you'll see, we talk about intellectual things, church culture things. We talk a lot about a lot of family things, which obviously hits me. Man Up, is there a crisis with young men? We looked at kind of how young men are falling behind in almost every academic and leadership category in our culture right now, and how we need to help young men believe and trust God, trust and believe their abilities, and have some confidence, because my daughters tell me it's getting rough out there with the young man category. Child's play, youth sports, the kind of crazy idolatry of our culture with youth sports, but also a world that we're very much involved with. I enjoyed that. Certainly men, marriage, fatherhood, some former Hokie stars, Andre Davis, NFL guy, Willie Pyle, NFL guy, my doctor, the Reverend Right Dr. Abraham Hardee. That was wonderful. And certainly the episode that kind of set our posture and position with discussions of systemic racism in our society, woke, too woke, or broke, where we looked at Dr. Eric Mason's book, Woke Church, because I do think there is a awareness that's needed. There is a certain thing that happens amongst particularly white people, where they get down on everybody who's not woke as them and become unhelpful. And then certainly the idea that racism has never been a thing or isn't a current thing that we have to continue to be vigilant about is what we called broke. So those are some of my honorable mentions. And then I'll have my top 3 that I'll share here in a moment. Jesse, what are some of the things that some of the things that you enjoyed?
Man, so I went back and I looked at our catalog and I listened to a few, re-listened to a few old ones. Some of the ones that I would say are maybe honorable mentions would be also, man, I loved the Men, Marriage, and Fatherhood episode. So I wasn't here for that, but that was the one you mentioned already. Thought that was just one of my favorite episodes.
Young men out there in the world kind of living and doing their families in a strong way. It was really encouraging. That was a COVID episode where we had guys in on Zoom from all over.
That's right. I think I follow all those guys now on Instagram and like to watch the way that they really how they function as husbands and dads, even though all I'm getting is, curated pictures on Instagram. It's still, I'm connecting the dots between that episode. Yeah. Also really, really liked the woke, too woke or broke was one of my highlight episodes as well. The ones where we've done any of our holiday, the St. Patrick's Day one.
Yeah, that was fun. Halloween, we did
Halloween one, the Valentine's Day one. Those have been highlights to me. As a matter of fact, I think the Valentine's Day one, I'll probably incorporate some of that into an episode we're doing on the Hammer and Quill. So those were really good for me as far as honorable mentions. Man, I look at back. This whole thing has just been such a great project. Having a wireless mic, Dr. Mike.
Yes, we had a wireless engineer who gets called as expert witnesses in court cases, patent disputes by big companies around the world.
That was when I remember just sitting and when you watch, I don't know if you've ever watched tennis or something, you're in the middle and you're just back. I was just watching Reid and Mike talk and I was like, I don't know what they're talking about.
Wireless mic.
I'm just happy to be alone. I'm just happy to be here.
We need to have wireless mic back on.
Come on back,
wireless mic. Well, hey, I'm going to get into the top 3. I'll do one, throw one back to you. We'll go back and forth. My first in my top 3 was episode 33, our first, which has become a series actually now, called Underground Saints, where we kind of honor people who live faithful gospel lives without kind of the big spotlight notoriety. Maybe it's vocational, maybe it's in ways that God sees intimately and immensely. We see that there's no one, the greatest in the kingdom is going to be the least. So sometimes when we hype up, positions and power, we're doing it wrong, so to speak. And episode 33, I was privileged to interview one of my best friends, Brent Malcolm, about the occasion where I got to hear his father preach his own funeral. His father had died, but he'd given a sermon out of the book of Philippians on our death benefits, what it means to die in the Lord. And I was so humbled. One, I wish I would ask Brent's dad to mentor me years ago. But Brent was kind enough to allow us to publish that sermon and kind of give some comment on it. And I was just humbled because Craig Malcolm, hero, wonderful reminder of the beautiful promises that we will live even though we die, and that the death benefits that we get from Jesus Christ are just unbelievably immense. And that promise is true. And now I know Brent misses his dad, and he's raising 2 little boys, Pearson and Theo, and reminding them of who their grandfather was. And we'll have a reunion because of the death benefits and the promises of God in eternity. So episode 3, and it kicked off a series, Underground Saints, where we've had a few others on in that, and we'll continue our Underground Saints. So back to you, top 3.
Well, I got to say that was a highlight for me too, listening to that one.
And we learned how to record remote phone calls from England on that episode technologically.
That was the one. So I'll go with my first of my top 3, going all the way back to episode 11, when I had the opportunity to interview Reese Bazant, Dr. Reese Bazant, a professor at Ridley College in Melbourne, Australia, who had done some writing on lament and the role of lament and the history of the church. And so it was just really an honor to. I remember we were. That was the first time that I took
That's right.
Like a travel setup.
Yeah.
I went
did it solo because I listened to that after the fact.
That's right. And I didn't know what I was doing. And I was like, Reid, I don't know what I'm doing. Help me out here. But we got it done. And it was just a really good, it was a time where we as a church and me as a pastor, where I was really stepping into what does it look like corporately and personally to lean into lament,
to mourn or be sad,
to mourn, to grieve, to really embrace the fact that nearly a third of the Psalms are Psalms of lament, of disorientation, of expressing sadness,
angst,
with
anguish.
hope, but with honesty. And so that was one of my top 3,
and a great title too, "Leaning into Lament" with Reese Bazant. Kind of flows.
I'm pretty sure that was your. I think that was you.
That's my interpretation of it, at least.
No. I think. I think you came up with.
I did. I can't remember. I honestly can't remember.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. We did.
Yeah, we did that. Second of my top 3, episode 52, Girl Power. Raising daughters. Girl Power, I was coming off of a trip to Guatemala with an Athletes in Action soccer team. Shout out ladies who were on that trip. I was the only dude of about 24 in our party, all women and me. And my daughter was playing on that soccer team. It was kind of an opportunity to witness in another context and play soccer and kind of build women's sports in Guatemala. It was a wonderful trip. But when we got back, I realized the difference of being a father to girls and boys. Now, I know it's shocking, probably controversial in these times where there's track meets with dudes with all their junk in display beating girls on the track. So we know gender confusion. We've done podcasts on that. I just realized the uniqueness of being a father of girls. And so I had my now 17 and 19-year-old daughters, Kayla and Kylene, on that episode. And it just was so much fun because they actually shared with all of you what they need from a father as young women. And that was purely, I just told them I was going to ask them certain questions, but we didn't script them. We just let them talk. And I think our friend Pradeepa, he texted me after that one. He goes, "I love this podcast. Your daughters are on here just loving you like crap, but giving you crap at the same time." I was like, well, that's the life we live. Yep. They don't let me get away with anything, and they love me well. And so it was an honor to have those young women because, man, they high game from those girls. I always say it's like whatever brothers step into that world better have some high game. Not because I'm examining them, because they are. And that was my second of my top 3 was Girl Power, episode 52.
That was a good one, and I love any of the ones with your family. Yeah. I'm going to go with my second one in my top 3 is episode 84. Which is a recent one.
Yeah.
And it's one where we talked about civility and kindness. And that has been...
Somebody tried to give us a hard time about the title of that because we're white dudes talking about civility and kindness in our culture.
Yeah,
and
as if
we were talking about
gatekeeping protests or something like that.
Which wasn't what the episode was about at all.
I think the person giving us a hard time probably didn't listen to the episode, would be my guess.
Yeah, that was my guess too.
But where we went into... Dr. Jonathan Haidt and the coddling of the American mind, where we talked about recovering the virtues of civility and kindness, not docility,
that's right,
not a kind of.
We even clarified that at the beginning of that episode. We're not talking about be docile.
That's
or
right.
Civil means that we don't have strength against injustice.
That's right, and that instead, what we were talking about is 1 Peter 3:15. That we would be ready to make a defense of the hope that we have, but that we would do it with gentleness and respect. That we'd be quick to listen, slow to speak. And to be honest, that episode has helped me and been formative to me. In preparing it with you, but then also just I go back to it.
Yeah, we have to live this, right? And particularly in our moment that we're in today, this idea that God actually, some of the greatest commandments, right? Jesus summarizes the law: love God, love our neighbor. And then Jesus even said, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. The behavior that we're seeing, take power, shout people down, humiliate others, shred others.
That's right. The speech that our sitting president gave that stirred the crowd up yesterday. Yeah. Which was essentially it's not weakness but power that's going to show them and take back our country. Is really not the way of Christ. It's not the way of kindness.
The one who stood before the man who would crucify him, and stood for truth and the kingdom in the midst of power. That's the way. The way up is the way down in the kingdom of God. It's a great inversion to overcome evil with good. And by the way we live, people might be ashamed of how they're not acting that way. Yep. Certainly very valuable, Jesse. Episode 84, Civilian Kindness. All right, my third was, and this is one that's most challenging to me still today, and you took the lead on this one for the most part in episode 64, Quitting Social Media, or on Digital Minimalism. We were kind of handling in this deep work, Cal Newport, his books during that season of the podcast, and you did an experiment for us where you kind of shut down social media for a while. I put this as one of my top ones because, one, I'm convicted by it. I need it. And personally, I need to excel still more because I'm probably too embroiled in kind of social media. But I really appreciate that you did it. And you told me this morning that you're kind of heading back towards that world maybe of getting apps off the phone and shutting some things down, maybe even further than that.
Maybe, yeah. So for me, same thing. So the last one to round out my top three, and really I would say episode 64 and episode 61 feel like kind of together because they're both really about the Cal Newport project, and we were talking a lot about
61
that.
Working deep work, putting a plan into action. Yeah,
but quitting social media and digital minimalism in episode 64 is one of my top three. It was certainly preparing for that and recording that episode was formative for me, and I'm going back. I went and re-listened to that episode this morning, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it was so nice to not be on social media." I was 6 weeks into an experiment where mainly what I cut out was Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So I still use social media that was within our church community. We use Marco Polo in the Bonhoeffer House
type stuff. Yeah,
Group Me, Marco
functional
Polo.
communication.
Yeah, but I'm going back. I'm quitting again. I'm doing it again. And I'm considering going all the way here and deleting Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. My accounts, not just deleting the apps.
Donald Trump's no longer on Facebook.
So that's not why I would delete. Okay. So actually, since that episode, I've watched The Social Dilemma. Is that the name of the
I haven't
Netflix
watched
documentary?
it yet. The documentary's been out several months now about how they're tracking you, manipulating you, messing with you. Yeah.
So I watched that. I've been paying more attention to like just my own kind of
temperature,
emotional and mental temperature. And one of the things that we talked about in that episode is how the shallows, right? And that's between 61 and 64, the social media and deep work. Yeah. But the more time I'm in social media, the less I'm reading actual books, the less I'm writing actual quality producing content. Yeah. So I'm quitting, man. I'm back out.
I probably should follow you. I do need to do better, and so I'm still very challenged in that area. I sometimes like the new grill I got. I found on Instagram ad because they know I like barbecue stuff, and I'm pretty happy about that. That's pretty in the shallows. No, I find that I read less, and the reason why, look, it's not that we're saying we value paper more than like screens, but there's a reality that a book is a well thought out, planned argument or idea explained and defended and looked at from angles, and it's just a different kind of thinking than you get like in these short form blips of dopamine things that fire us up and move us around. So Jesse, I'm challenged. I picked that because I need to do better. And for me, I don't use Facebook very much, to be honest, quite infrequently. I use Twitter quite a lot. I get lots of good articles. I get lots of good research, lots of good things for the podcast on there. So that's my hang up still, but I need to get some more discipline and control in my life on that area as well.
I'm out, man.
I'm out.
I'm honestly just trying to figure out if
in or out. I'm out.
I'm out. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to delete my profiles.
Jesse.
I'm out.
In or out on social media.
I'm out.
You're out.
So really the question for me is whether, and I'll report back.
Yeah.
Episode 101, I'll give you a report.
Yeah.
Whether or not I'm going to delete my profile altogether, because what I don't want, what I want to do is I want to go 2021, no social media. And at least those three big ones. That's a big thing for me, especially because the Bonhoeffer House is this, we're kind of a baby, we're like a toddler, we're growing, but we're small. There are some ways that having a social media presence helps there.
Marketing and
I don't think I would cut off the Bonhoeffer House Instagram, which is about all we do right now. But I think I'd hand all that over to Michael and say, hey, you live in the social media world. So I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to actually delete my profile altogether so I don't have to worry about having like 30 Facebook messages when I come back in, and I don't
start twitching because of the notifications. They're designed to make you twitch. Next episode, I believe we are looking at our resistance in this cultural moment still, and I think we're going to be looking at how this social media and the inflammation that happens through these kind of messages and interactions really have to be resisted. So good timing.
That's good because the personal productivity is part of it for me, and even just my own anxiety and personal well-being, but a lot of it is I'm feeling myself being tugged away from real live people that are real neighbors. I got neighbors with real problems across the street, and people in my church that I need to care for, and I feel myself being tugged to care more about what people that I don't even know think. And anyway, so
this may be something that we should write on the whiteboard after we finish about another episode, because I know during COVID, I've thought about a bunch of different people. Hey, we need to have them over. We can't have them over, with COVID, and our family's been on an especially tight kind of quarantine before and after Casey's surgery. But I'm longing. I think one of the things the pandemic and COVID-19 said is that, hey, virtual video, all these technologies, hey, podcast, listening to audio is helpful. Have a good microphone. But man, there's nothing. We're made embodied creatures. And so even last night when Kayla was feeling stressed about college and the stuff happening in the Capitol, because she's an older person, she can think about it, but she's still 19. Just sitting behind her and hugging her just was so beneficial to both of us. Yeah. And I really long to have some folks, new friends in life too. Hey, we need to have them over. And right now it's winter outside, so it's hard to sit outside and eat on the deck because it's winter time. But maybe an episode about incarnational, in-fleshed reality being a good gift from God we could hit.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Well, Jesse, we've just passed about our 45-ish, 47-minute mark. That's good length for us. We got praise for not being a 20-minute podcast by a friend this week, which is good. So hopefully you've persevered to the end and you will be saved. And the Gospel Underground, Jesse.
Let's get 100 more.
Let's get 100 more. Let's put them in the books. Gospel Underground podcast produced in partnership with the Bonhoeffer House and Jesse Fury. Review us on iTunes. 5 stars are acceptable. We like sentences as well. Drop a little paragraph for us. Comments, feedback, always welcome to our phones and text messages for those who know us. But if not, out there, send them to info@gospelunderground.org. We are dialogue taking place in the borderlands between the church and culture. This is our Centennial. We'll see you next week or 2 weeks from now. Maybe on a bicentennial someday.
Ooh, one day.
Wow, 1776. Keep on, America. Stay faithful. Keep on keeping on. Peace.